Staying friends with an ex is always a toxic—
That is total garbage, Ryan. You have no—
Hey, let me finish! As I was saying, keeping an ex around is just building a pathetic safety net for when your new romance inevitably fails. You do not actually care about their struggles anymore. It is a selfish game to feed your fragile ego and guarantee someone is always waiting in the wings. Real friends do not have a messy history of wrecking each other emotionally. You are just terrified of letting go of your past baggage and moving on completely like a functional adult.
Megan, 29, freelancer.
Ryan, you are projecting your bitter insecurities onto my life. My ex and I share a profound spiritual connection that you are too emotionally stunted to comprehend. We evolved past romance into a pure, elevated companionship. It is called maturity. Why throw away years of deep understanding just because the romantic phase ended? He still pays for my gym membership and helps with rent because he genuinely cares about my soul. It is not an ego trip. It is a superior form of connection.
Are we confusing a deep spiritual connection with convenient financial manipulation? Olivia, 25, PR manager.
People who completely cut off their exes are completely unevolved. I hurt his confidence, moved out of our shared place, and our breakup affected his career path. But we are still besties. I invite him to my parties just to show him what he lost. It builds his character. We need to normalize keeping our exes around as cautionary tales. It is progressive and powerful. If he cannot handle watching me thrive, that is his own pathetic trauma to work through. I refuse to hide my massive success.
Jason, 28, graphic designer.
Olivia, you did not keep me around to build my character. You kept me as a pathetic trophy of your manipulation. You call it progressive friendship, but you use my shattered confidence as pure entertainment for your rich friends. You literally text me in the middle of the night just to check if I am still thinking about you. That is not evolving. That is emotional manipulation. You demand my attention to validate your twisted ego. You are a deeply selfish person hiding behind the word friend, and you know it.
Is staying friends with an ex just a twisted excuse to exert permanent emotional control? Dr. Evans, 45, therapist.
From a clinical perspective, maintaining contact with a toxic ex completely disrupts the psychological healing process. The brain needs a period of total detachment to rewire its core attachment bonds and move on. Continuing to communicate creates a highly harmful cycle of false hope and emotional stagnation. We must establish absolute boundaries for the greater good of your mental health. Treating an ex like a casual acquaintance completely ignores the deep neurological pathways formed during the romance.
Tyler, 33, musician.
Dr. Evans, your clinical boundaries sound exactly like an emotional prison. You want to mandate human feelings and force people to erase significant chapters of their lives just to fit a sterile medical model. I have the fundamental freedom to choose who stays in my life. My ex and I shared 7 years of deep creative collaboration. You expect me to sever a valuable human connection just because the romantic label changed? That is not healing. That is forced emotional amnesia and isolation.
We do not sugarcoat the raw truth here. Are exes capable of true friendship, or is it always a toxic game of emotional manipulation and convenience? Subscribe right now, hit the comments, and pick your side.